If you own a second gen Cummins and you're tired of the wait to start light being either delayed or sometimes not coming on at all like this, and then you can sit there all day and you can crank the shit out of it and then nothing happens, and then 30 seconds later you finally get a flash to wait to start, I'll tell you why it's happening. It's because this is going bad. And this is actually located on the side of your engine. This is your engine ECM. And auto computer specialists, they actually will rebuild these for like $200-300. Right now they got like sales going on. Not sponsored by them. I'm actually just mailing mine out to get it done. But it's simple. 3 10mm bolts, take it off, and then you got an Allen wrench that you got to pull out to get the plug off of the ECM. No wait to start. Now I'm going to crank it. That time it finally started, but what is happening is the computer is not booting up immediately, and so sometimes you can catch it by cranking it like that, but the second I usually turn that key, it fires right over. So we're going to take this out. I've already loosened the 3 bolts. There's one on the right, one on the left, and one all the way down at the bottom right there. It just comes right out. There's really nothing to it. This one, there's a harness on this, there's a clip on this wiring harness I had to loosen up as well to make room to get that bolt out, but it was like a 10-minute job. Super easy. So I'm gonna crank it up again. It should fire right up this time, so I'll show you how it should start every time. Nope. See if it'll wait to start. There it goes. That's how it should start every time, but the second you turn the key, you should get that. So one thing you have to pay attention to is this doesn't just unplug, and there is an Allen wrench necessary for this. Trying to hold the camera and do everything at once. I'll pan out a little bit. All right, so you just literally stick it in the center of this plug, and you're gonna turn it. And I got my sandwich bag right there, ready to go, because I don't want this pigtail. Let me get it back to focus. I don't want this pigtail sitting in the open for the pins to maybe get, you know, some trash in them, water. You know, I just try to keep it away from the elements. There's a reason that this thing screws in like it does, and it has a gasket on it. So, a little fun fact is, the first time I ever pulled one of these off, I didn't see the screw in the back, and I sat there with screwdrivers prying on it until I ended up breaking it. Not on this truck, but another truck I had. So that's just how it comes off. Super easy. All right, so as you can see, I got the pigtail in the sandwich bag zipped up. Now you take the 3 bolts out of the computer, slide it to the left and down, it'll come right out. So I'm looking at another truck right now. I don't know if it's gonna work out. It's a 98 dually 5.9, and it doesn't have the 53 block, and it's an automatic. The dude told me $3 grand, and the reason being is because the computer on it is shot. Originally, the truck would start and it wouldn't run very good, and if you unplug the thermostat sensor, all of a sudden it would run good again. And that's your thermostat sensor. And I noticed they put a hopper off of this onto the ECM pigtail, which tells me that wire most likely has a short, or they didn't realize a bad sensor can cause it to run bad, or the computer's acting up and they were just trying to fix it. They didn't maybe know what the hell they were doing. Dude's kind of jerking me around right now. I'm hoping to get the truck. All right, so I got it back finally. Took a little longer than anticipated. On the site, it says like 3 to 5 business days. I think it was more like 15. I don't know, something like that. A little longer than I wanted to wait. But in the meantime, I started cleaning up the engine and realizing the original color. So I was using, what's that stuff called? Spray 9. And it's supposed to be gentle, but it ate the sticker up. And but I'm realizing that this engine used to be like I think a silver color. And it might have been this gold color, I don't know. But I'm gonna end up continuing to clean this, and I'm gonna get everything paint matching that blue and gray under the hood. I think it's gonna look really nice. And yeah, so Spray 9 is, I wish I had the bottle with me right now, but it's really good for degreasing. Like, it cleaned the paint up real nice under here. There's a lot more I can do with it. I just spent probably maybe an hour under here cleaning up, but it's a good product. So let's get this thing put back in and see how she runs. All right, so the computer's back in. Let's see how it does. Hopefully it runs good and the UPS driver didn't drop it down like a flight of stairs and treat it like that one scene in the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. All right, make sure I got my ducks in a row here. See that wait to start. Let's see if it'll flash. Oh, there we go. Come on. Well, it's not fucking good. Let's try that again. Oh boy. The wait to start light problem is fixed though. Oh, all right. I'm going to be making a phone call to, what was that company again? Auto Computer Specialist? Yeah, we got a problem. Let me double check all my stuff. Well, I'm going to pull this ECM back out and mail it off to Auto Computer Specialists. I talked to the guy on the phone, and he's like, well, it's getting late in the day, and you'll just have to deal with us tomorrow. He didn't sound like there's a real sense of urgency to make it right, so hopefully they do. He kept saying maybe one of the pins sticking out of the ECM was messed up, but they all are the way they should be from what I could see, and none of them are loose. So I think they just messed up something inside, or because when they shipped it back, see, when I shipped it to them, I had it wrapped in bubble wrap. I, took extra care to make sure it didn't get beat up. They sent it back in this, loosely in a box, banging around. So, Lord knows the shipping might have done it, but they got to make it right because I've cracked the injectors and I'm only getting fuel out of the very front cylinder, and it's a very weak flow, which is telling me that the VP44 is not getting any power, because if it was, it would be changing cylinders, but it's only sitting on that one. So it's definitely an electrical issue, and it was running fine the day I parked it, as you could tell earlier in the video, but nope. I thought maybe it lost prime, so I cracked the injectors, which this truck has sat for months before, and it's not even thought about losing prime. Good stuff. All right, so this is round 2. The truck ran fine, but it had the delayed wait to start. So I mailed my computer out to Auto Computer Specialists, and they sent it back. Truck won't run. Never had a problem. Then they said, oh, you must have done something to it. Well, I gotta beg to differ, because it's literally just a pigtail plug. Nothing's wrong with it, whatever. So I haven't even opened the box yet. They said, well, we can't find anything wrong with it, but we replaced the entire insides. And my thing is like, if there's nothing wrong with it, then why would you do the work? So I feel like maybe they get some bad parts, and that might be why they did it. But we're gonna find out. I'm about to put it in there, and hopefully it runs. Hopefully I can say they made it right. What do you know? The son of a bitch runs. Couldn't have had anything to do with them not rebuilding the computer right the first time, but it's running now. That's all that matters. So I need to go bolt the computer up all the way and make sure I tighten all my fuel injectors, because I did crack those loose trying to diagnose this issue that obviously was the computer. Anyway, Auto Computer Specialists, I'm gonna give y'all like a B, because y'all did deny everything. Y'all told me I was wrong, that I did something wrong to it. But, oh, and I got a check engine light. I wonder why. Huh, that's a new one. Never seen that before. So, yeah, so I got a check engine light. They might not even get a B. I'm gonna figure out what that's about real quick. But yeah, I can't say that I came out better. I mean, it doesn't have a wait to start light anymore, but obviously I have a check engine light, and went through a lot of crap for a month. And I can't say probably everybody's experience with them is bad, but they pretty much told me the whole time there's something wrong with my truck. that it couldn't be them, but they'll humor me and rebuild it again, and now the truck's running. So I gotta go figure out this check engine light. I'll be right back. So it's running good. I still got that check engine light. I've cleared the codes. It keeps coming up that it's got a overly high voltage on the thermostat for the temperature, like coolant temperature sensor. So hopefully it's not the computer. Maybe it's just a bad sensor. Could be a short in the wiring. I'm gonna get it checked out. Me and my buddy are gonna look at it. He's an aviation mechanic, so he's pretty good at checking for shorts, and I'm pretty good at changing things that you take on and off with a ratchet. Anyway, that should conclude today. I can't say Auto Computer Specialists did me wrong, but I can certainly say they were immediately defensive. They kept saying that I had something else wrong with the truck is the reason it wouldn't run, but they went ahead anyway and rebuilt the whole computer again and replaced it with all new parts. And the truck's running fine now that they've rebuilt it twice. And I felt that that was, you know, insulting to anybody that's slightly mechanically inclined's intelligence that says, hey, my truck ran good every day up until you rebuilt the computer. And that's kind of where I stand with them. Is they were, as I said, very defensive, as if like they were like, you know, not going to eat if they didn't get that money or whatever. But it was just simply put like, hey, people make mistakes. You get bad parts, things happen. What I believe has happened here with this check engine light, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until I can do an update. What I believe has happened is the computer, before it was rebuilt the first time, probably had a fault where it wasn't actually reading that code. And now that everything is working and new in the computer, it's actually able to detect a inconsistent voltage or something coming off of the actual temperature sensor. So I'm going to change the sensor first, see if that fixes it, and then if that doesn't, I'm going to have my friend help me go over all the wiring. And if that doesn't fix it, I will be back in touch with Auto Computer Specialists. But for right now, she's running good. And can't say that, you know, as I said, I watched Ozzy's Garage on YouTube, and he didn't have the drama that I did with that computer, with using Auto Computer Specialists. So I can't say they're a bad company. I can just say that as far as customer service, they could be a little more understanding, that some people actually know what they're talking about. They know what they own. I'm sure they deal with a lot of, you know, dummies that don't know anything about vehicles and probably have a bad VP44 and would blame them for the reason their truck's not running and think it's the computer, and it's really not. But the fact is, I know what I'm driving. Like, you know, you see in the old sales, I know what I got. Well, I know what I got here, okay? I know I got a good truck. It's not the prettiest, but it's mechanically sound. I just got a lot of sensors that I've got to replace. I got to put a new neutral safety switch in for the clutch. I got to do brake light sensor for the brake pedal. I've got to put a new door chime sensor in because it's always thinks the door's closed. And then I got to replace the pressure regulator sensor on the AC. But other than that, I mean, that's really all that's going on with this truck. I got to put a new radio in it, but mechanically speaking, that's all I can find wrong with it. So, like and subscribe. I'm going to keep posting as I get some money here and there. I'm going to keep trying to add more junk to this truck to make it, you know, polished turd. But anyway, like and subscribe. Have a good one.